Karen the Warp Spinster here. Thank you for joining me today. It is apparently wrap it up week at the Spinster here. So I'm going to at least start on wrapping up the Alice in Wonderland quilt. So you may remember from past videos that we have a variety of blocks. We've got a funky pineapple and then some wonky curves. What do we call those? Checkerboards, wonky checkerboards. And then another of the funky pineapples. Here's the other half of this wonky log cabin block. Then we have this Alice tumbling down the rabbit hole. And then this first piece, which is moving into chaos. It should be going this way, shouldn't it? Then I did yesterday add another piece to it. In the previous video, I talked about using these black and pink and white checkerboards to do something else with. And I still have those pieces. This, I discovered I had a set already put together. So I added in a couple of bias strips here and a couple of striped squares. And I just appliqued those with, Rayaj appliqued with invisible thread. And then I added on a couple of my favorite stitches here. At this point, it started looking like a baseball. But I love this stitch. It looks so modern to me. It's a hem stitch of some sort, I guess. But, so I added that one on, and I'm not saying I may not need some more, but for today, I have loaded these all into Procreate on my iPad, and I just set up my camera at a constant height, took pictures of each one, pulled them out from the background, and just loaded them into a document so I can start moving them around. I can add in different pieces, whether they be solid or maybe put in a stripe as I'm putting them together, or I can make duplicates if I think I need to make some more of a block. So we're ready to get going here. What I think I'm going to do, just for the sake of safety, is I'm going to, I should have done this before, sorry, work with a duplicate of these. So I'm just going to duplicate that group and then hide that one. Can I lock a group? I can. All right, so that one's just, I have a copy of all of these for safety's sake if I do something bizarre. So now I can just start moving them around. I'm going to move this over. I have each one in a different layer, so I can grab it and move it around pretty easily. I have no idea how I'm going to do this, which isn't unusual for me, you know. This one was the beginning of it. Was it? No, that was the beginning of it. Whatever. This one I think of as, I don't know, sort of the main focus piece. So I think I'm going to start with that. And first off, I'm going to turn it the correct direction. That one is maybe, do we want that one vertical? All right, I'm just going to start putting these together, and then I can rearrange. Once I see them together, I think I'll know whether or not they're going to work. And then I can start working on things in between. If you don't have an iPad and you want to do this, certainly you can just move the actual pieces around. I'm not doing that here because they're too large to have on the screen that you can see very well at all. So this is the way I prefer to do it, but especially for showing it to you, I think this is most helpful. If you want to do a similar thing, if you don't have a design wall, or you want to leave it out for a while and you've got cats or dogs who would walk all over it on the floor of the bed, then you could do basically the same thing, is take a picture, make sure it's a constant distance from the camera, take photos of them, print them out, cut them out, and then you can start rearranging them. You could use construction paper or put them on a white piece of paper and color with colored pencils or crayons, whatever. So I think you can figure out how you can do that if you wish to. So I'm going to start moving these around. If this is following the Alice theme, then this is the one where she's tumbling down the hole, so I think that one needs to be up at the top in the start, and then I'm just going to move from there. So this piece I want to just move down for the moment and move this one up. So that's Alice coming down the hole. Maybe I'm just going to hide some of these for the moment so we don't get distracted. And this one, it seems like maybe story-wise, it might want to be close to this, where she's starting up there and she starts getting into the chaos in both those pieces. Then it's whatever from that point. So let's take this one now and move it in. And I could make that a straight line if I wanted to, or I could do a curve along here, which could be kind of interesting. I'll have you know I cleaned this screen just for you, sparkling clean. It won't stay that way very long, but I'm kind of liking that curve, actually. And I can always add something in. So let's say I think I need a red stripe in there. So let me grab this red color here, and then add a little weight to that, I guess. I could put in a stripe here, or a strip there, a little wider there. And this doesn't have to be perfect. This is just a guideline for when I actually start sewing things together. It can easily change while I'm sewing. My issue with this going across there is that it cuts off this downward concept. So I'm not sure that I want to do that. But I do want to connect. You can see the black and then the red there, so I think I want to pull that up a bit and connect those. May change my mind in a minute and a half, but you know, there we are. All right, pull up another one. That's a pretty good sized one. And let's see about there. And so as I'm putting this together, I can sort of gauge if this is too much going on, and do I need to add some eye rest stops in there. And these do not, of course, have to go straight up and down or at right angles. I can be doing funky things with it. And one of the decisions I'll have to make then is, do I want this straight on the side, or do I want other things going on over here? I don't actually care much if that tip gets lopped off there, as it's going to as soon as I do that. This is looking like a lot here. This didn't bother me much until I put that in. So I might move that to a bit calmer spot. Not that that's a lot calmer, but I may discover that I just really need to add in some solid pieces somewhere. Well, that might be kind of interesting as a foil for that. That's a lot going on. But we're just finding ourselves a starting point here, right? For some reason, I always see those funky pineapples as going upward, which it does not have to be. It gives me a little bit of a pink solid there for a rest, which is nice. That might be it. Do I have everything out? Yes. Now, I can do repeats of things, which would mean that I would make more of them. And I'm inclined to populate the rest of it with these funky pineapple blocks. So I'm going to duplicate those. Of course, I won't actually duplicate them exactly when I make them, but this will just give a feel for the weight and possible shape of it. That's mirroring that, not mirroring that, echoing that. It's duplicating it. And that may or may not be a good thing. Let me try it turned. On the one hand, it's some order within the chaos, but on the other hand, it's repeating something exactly, which may or may not be more interesting. I do have more of these slices. I could make another one of those or something similar. And obviously slicing and filling in will need to be done because these shapes aren't made to fit into each other. And somehow I managed to, did I erase that? Good move, Karen. Now comes the moment. Is this all just very much too much? And if so, how am I going to change it? Let's take this one. And what if we move it this way? Do something more like that. And I think this one then wants to move over. Might also want to move up. One thing I'm going to do is take this whole group and shrink them all together so that they stay the same size relative to each other. That will give me a little more room to work here. Plus, I like negative space. And then that one perhaps move up. Remember, this is Alice falling down the hole. And does that then mean that I want to move one of those pieces actually up? I did erase that. Isn't that interesting? All right, I'm going to fix that and I'll see you when I come back. All right, it's not a perfect job, but at least it is less distracting. That, I'm liking how this repeats, sort of. So I'm going to move that over a bit, see if I want it to overlap even more. Maybe I want something white in between there to tie that together. And if I think something's going to be white, I'll just leave it plain so the background shows through there. So that's good. I like having some curves in it. So I'm wondering if maybe I want a narrow strip there of black, perhaps. See if that helps with a, I don't know, almost sort of a transition. Maybe not exactly, but close. Yes, that pulls that together better, I think, doesn't it? No, it isn't. Okay, happy with that bit of it. And I think with that, this, I don't know. Let's give it a move around, see what we think. If I'm wanting this to sort of flow down, that's going against the grain if I want this to come down. So I think I will actually shift that back to go that way. And I will probably want a piece of something there. This almost ties in with that. What if that stripe there? Sort of moves into that a little bit. Then we've messed with that, although not by much. And I know there's going to have to be some trimming going on. And that's actually overlapping this piece. I could make something that actually, here's a thought. Let's just move that piece over here for the moment. I kind of like those together anyway. Funky pineapples together. If I just did a, say, a black and white stripe that runs, say, over this would be over the top after I pieced stuff together. That is really, really bad. A couple of bad curves. Let's try that again. Do some stripes, whether it's the wide or the narrow, whichever. We could all debate that for a long time, couldn't we? And I know this isn't a perfect representation of how it will look, but at least it gives an idea. So it appears I am trying to piece together stuff going this direction. But down here, do I want things that are more horizontal? This one's just a block. If I, It's always interesting to me to go through this process of putting seemingly unrelated pieces together, because I see or think about things that I wouldn't have thought I would. Now, I had no thought that I would put these checkerboard pieces together this way. I'm not liking that for some reason. That wasn't actually what I wanted to do, but that'll work. Then do this and put this off in that direction with something in between. Sorry, there's lots of pondering in this video. I'll try to edit some of it out. If I add some black in here, big enough to see, Karen. Actually, let's tie it together over this direction. I need some black to get the alternating business here, at least something close to continuing that. And I may want to do that up here somewhere too, maybe. I don't think I like that. Changing my mind on that. I think I want Well, how does it look if I pull that piece up to meet that black, and then that red stripe comes down, and I don't think I really like that either. If I rotate it back, went too far, didn't I? Oh, well, here's a thought. If I go this way with it then, oh, that might be better. This would actually be quicker to move around. Sorry, I'm trying to talk while I'm thinking. It is not going well. I like that better where it's coming around. Not sure I like it entirely, but I think I like it better. What if I had a red stripe going there, continuing that curve? Oh, here's what we could do. Let's try this. I'm going to, let's just delete that, won't use a layer, and go for the red. It's in here. And then I'm going to do a curve up into that, and then this curve over here. So that continues that. And adds a little bit of cohesion to it, so it's less muddled and more ordered, but still has that little bit of, and this red would be the same as that, so it would carry through a little better. Kind of liking that. I used to like that over there. I don't anymore. It's probably going to be nothing that ends up in the same place as we started, except those two pieces relative to each other. What if we add just a piece of black in there? So if I go back to black, and it will be underneath, so I can do this with except I don't think I want that to be straight. Do I? I'll leave it that way for the moment. Not sure I want a completely straight edge over there. Pretty sure I don't at the bottom. Pretty sure I'm not going to get it at the bottom, to be honest. Well, it certainly is better than when we started out, don't you think? If we do a cluster of these over here, then I almost want this to be a funnel-y kind of thing. Although, if Alice is coming down the rabbit hole, I don't have to go with that strictly, of course, but go with the same red here. What if we do something like that, which will tie that together a little better. And this could then do something like this down here. Then we have this in here, which I'm wondering if I want to just populate this whole area with that sort of thing. Let me find that one. Just make a cluster. And maybe I just want like a 4-patch in there. All right, I'm going to duplicate that piece, move it up, but might need to be a black and white patch though. So let me trade these out for black. That's pretty rough, but I think that might be the kind of thing I'm looking for there. Ties in that black and white checkerboard kind of effect. And I really don't have to fill in all of these spaces, of course. White space is perfectly acceptable. Something down here, I think I want to swap out, not swap out, but change. Oops. Yeah, I don't know about that. Not sure that I like that. I'm not sure that I like that, for that matter. I have this business to fill in, or cut off, or something. That I can fill in with white. That doesn't bother me. I'm wondering up here, instead of that sharp cutoff there, if I do black strips that angle off to there. Which I think I'm liking that. So this side looks pretty well put together. There's some cohesion in there. Not sure what I'll do there. Just another white wedge there, I think. And then we have all of this. Now, I don't have to use this piece. What happens if I hide that one and take, say, this piece and move it down there? It needs to be rotated just to fit in a little better. And this piece won't be exactly the same as that one. This is one that I've duplicated and they won't come out exactly the same. We can at least get the general weight though. And this checkerboard piece. And fix. Now, the other thing I could do, one of the things I could do is to add say a black stripe of some sort that ties all of that together in some fashion. However, he needs to move under the blocks, or is it going to be on top of the blocks? Let's see. think it wants to be on top. And that makes it a very vertical piece, which is how I sort of envisioned it. Except she's coming down into more chaos, and this looks more chaotic than down here. Am I more worried about the story? I could just use that as inspiration, and then this is what came out of it. I still want some more weight down here, though. Just the physics of my brain wants some weight, I guess. All right, let's make a couple more of the funky pineapple pieces. And then what do we want there? Maybe we want some more checkerboard there. Maybe. There is a lot going on here. Looks like race day in Wonderland. You know what I kind of want to do? Let's see how it looks. Do you know? That's just crazy. You have no idea what I want to do you? My brain is just going bleep, 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 bleep. I kind of want to put a red heart in here somewhere. Don't know size exactly, but I want to put a red heart in there. Maybe there, maybe not there, but somewhere. Do I want something grounding down here? Not that. More red down here. I think I tried that though, and I didn't like it much, did I? Let's try something a little different. What if we just did a, I don't know if I have enough fabric to do this actually, but I'll probably find another, ooh, no. These two maybe off the edge. I'm liking it better than when I started. I hope I'm not giving you seasickness with my winging everything around here. Okay, so we've definitely got the flowy line thing going here. And I don't mind having these curves. Do I want that? That I think I want to be a curve and then that straight. So maybe doing some applique of these things. But I think that's all right. I know that's all right. Now, if I'm doing these slivers of white, how is that going to look? So when I'm there, for example, is actually going to be, maybe I want to do that. Cut off all my hard work there. No, I don't think I want to do that. This doesn't actually have a piece down there, so I'll add that in. The heart could have, oh, this is getting into fine-tuning a little bit, but what if the heart over the top of it had a black and white stripe? Because this is Karen, and she likes to have black and white stripes everywhere right now. It's my jam. As people who are probably more hip than I might say. Oh, I don't even mind it just white running through it. But let's try it. Let's put some black stripes on top of it just to see what we think. But I don't want the rest of the stripe to be, of that strip to be striped. Then do I want this straight across? Let me add some white over that without erasing everything there. And how about some black that extends from that? Now that looks kind of too mechanical to me. Somehow. I like it better that way. And I'm not entirely sure I like this being straight over here. Though I suppose it's a good foil for everything else going on. Let's just collapse all of this stuff together. And move that all over. That's really the only reason I think I would leave that straight, is if I wanted it to be the straight edge of a quilt. It almost feels as if I want something going off over here, and I'm not really at all sure that I like that straight cut across there. Let's do another one of, say, these. How would it look if I moved that over to the side? That's a completely different kind of look in my eye anyway. Now it looks almost villagey, which maybe that's what I want in Wonderland. It's chaotic, but I kind of like it. I mean, we knew it was going to be chaos. This is Wonderland after all. I like having the black and white stripes and checkerboard things being what ties it together. And it's actually almost turning into more black and white than the red and pink. But that doesn't bother me. I rather like having the red as an accent. Would I prefer this to be curved up there, I wonder? Let's, oh, no wonder I haven't got a decent size eraser going on. I'm not sure. Not sure. I might like it better. It breaks up this straight edge there. That's something. I think I'm going to leave it there for now. And I might sit on a little bit and come back at another time and see how that all works for me. But overall, I'm liking how it pulled together. I honestly didn't know if it was going to. Now, if we do this, of course, I've got some strips to do over the top and lots of curves and whatnot to do. That doesn't bother me. But I would need to make some black and white checkerboards, just plain checkerboard. Ooh, I could make them funky checkerboards though, couldn't I? Maybe this one a funky checkerboard. That one straight, but this one funky. I said I was finished. I lied. And notice I'm not being really precise in this. This is not a finished piece of art, just a mock-up of how it will work. All right. Not sure how I feel about that exactly, but mostly I think all right. All right, I'm declaring this finished for the day anyway. And I don't know, do I want to do something? No, we're finished for the day. I know I will revisit it. We may or may not revisit it in a video. And I'm certain that you all would have done many things differently than I did. But that's what this is all about. If nothing else, it shows you what you would absolutely not do, which is narrowing down your options at least. All right, on Sunday then, I have thoughts about something else I might do with 2.5-inch squares. So those will be on the table, I think. And next Wednesday, I don't know. Right now, I am going to set up, get the Feynman Lives quilt loaded up and quilted. I finally did the background that has some Feynman diagrams on it that I just drew on it. And then when that's finished, I am going to load up my pointless quilt, which I finished putting together this week, and hopefully do the pre-binding on those. I'm just going out for the day for a retreat with friends out of town, and I want to have some hand work with me, so that will give me binding to do, because I also have the half square triangle, whatever I call it, circuit, I think, or short circuit, don't remember. So I'm going to be busy doing those things this week. I will see you then on Sunday and Wednesday. In the meantime, be well, be safe, be happy, be quilting. Peace.